Last class we stopped at this whatever we mentioned about this boxing and these things like that. So this is something which we see every day. So two things we told. One is when we put like this some a coin from a moving stuff, but it will fall on the bot itself. It is just like in a train when you put a ball, it comes to your hand. So dono एक ही है. It is like same thing. So which means every body will have the same speed of the container or a frame where it is. For example, we all are in Earth, so we all are moving along with the Earth in the same speed. So you are in a train, so including the catering dabba, your dabba, the plate in your hand and the bowl in your hand, everything is moving with the same speed of the train. So that is the fundamental concept. Like for example, if you're standing in a mall, and the mall, if you see an escalator moving, so within the mall itself there are two speeds. One is you are standing in the mall, you are standstill, but the people who are going in the escalator actually they are in a different speed. So compared to you, they have a different speed actually. So that frame where you stand is what is called frame of reference. That's what I'm telling. Frame of reference. So when you are in Earth, you are in Earth is your frame of reference. When you are in a merry-go-round, this merry-go-round is your frame of reference. So everybody in the frame merry-go-round are in the same frame of reference, so they are not moving compared to you. But a person who is standing outside, he is in a different frame of reference. So that is the concept which we told, and then we understood this part like whenever there is motion, what is force? So we understood that in force is the like we told there are two things which actually matters in the impact of anything. One is your mass, how much heavy you are, how much mass you have. Second is what speed it comes. For example, a cycle at 10 kilometer per hour speed, at 30 kilometer per hour speed, if it hits you, the 30 kilometer wala will hurt you more because the speed is more. Second, instead of the cycle, if the lorry comes at 30 kilometer per hour, it will hit you even more, it will damage you even more because the mass is small. So we understood that mass and speed are the two things which actually is constituting this impact. So this combined effect of this is what we called as momentum. It's called momentum, combined effect of mass and the speed. And then we told like this Newton is the guy who gave this definition of this force, like what we call as force, which is like a name which he gave. That in 1 second, how much is the change in momentum? So that is what is for. So like for you to understand easily, you can think about like you are riding a cycle, you go and hit a wall or a tree, how much it will hurt you compared to how you go and hit a sand dune. So when you hit a sand dune or water, what will happen? Your speed reduces slowly. So the change in momentum for 1 second is lesser compared to when you go and hit a wall. When you go and hit a wall, your speed comes and becomes zero. Sometimes it will become negative. You are hitting backwards. You are coming back. Okay, at least even if a car goes and hits at another vehicle all in a sudden, or a car goes and hits a tree or a wall, it damages you more because the change in momentum is happening so quickly. So the force is important in that for 1 second is very high. But then, like it is that is why head-on collisions create more damage. If you go and hit another car, you see, if you rewind the accidents which you have seen and all, if you go normally and hit another car which is moving in the same direction as you, the chances of damage will be less. Damage will be there. If you are hitting on a vehicle which is standing idle, it will be having damage. But if that is also moving, you are also moving, the damage will be reasonably less. Because in 1 second you are not stopping. But head-on collision, like it comes here and you are going opposite, then what happens? Your speed becomes zero and maybe bit negative also. So in that 1 second, how much is the change in momentum? Is very high. Mass is not changing, speed is changing. So that is this principle actually, which actually is the reason why you die when you fall from a building. When you fall from a 10-story building, you die because of this. And you this whole things we told like cricket, like when you put a ball, that's why when you take a catch like this, you're slowly reducing the speed. Okay, so when you fall from a building, if you have a form, actually your chances of escape will be higher if you have a form like this. So what this form does is, when the high jumper jumps, if this form is not there, his back will go because he's falling. So he has a speed. Suddenly it becomes zero. But this form, it the speed becomes zero, but slowly. It's like a slow motion. So when you fall from the top of a building, if you have foam beneath, if you have a thick foam, you nothing will happen. Okay, small impact will be there, but you may not lose your life. That is because the speed is reducing slowly. Understand? Same thing in parachute also. In parachute also, you're coming down, but the speed is slowly reducing. So that is the concept of force. Okay, and this happens everyday life. You see, when you have in the car also, they will tell the cars which is having longer frontage, you will get less damage. It comes and hits you, it takes some time. Even the uh, even the what is it called, the bag, the airbag which you have, the airbag which you will have in the car as a protection. So that actually also does the same thing for you. So which it will expand. Zero starts where you no, it won't become zero when you touch, na. See, when you touch the sponge also, you have, let us assume your speed was 10 kilometer per hour. When you touch the sponge, suddenly it doesn't become zero. It will become 9, 8, 7, 5. Then it will go down. So it becomes slowly. So the force on you for 1 second is less. The total force is same. But for that one moment, what force is there? It is less. It is like, you think of something falling down. You're just standing. Yeah, assume a almara or something is falling down on you. Suddenly, patak, it falls on you. And second, it slowly falls and you hold your hand and like slowly it falls. Impact will be much less. So that is because of this principle. Because force is normally the 1 second में कितना momentum change होते, that is what determines the force. Understand? Okay. Even when you see that, the sharp edges and all in some offices and all, like you will have wall with sharp edge. When it hits, when you hit like this, you get damage, you get pain because suddenly it becomes zero. So the impact is higher. That's why you normally keep a cushion, the rubber cushion. You've seen where there's a sharp, you'll keep a rubber cushion so that now your speed becomes slowly zero. Okay. So that was this concept. So now, if I take to summing up this topic, so let us assume this gentleman, whom all of you know, who is Usain Bolt. So assume indicative figures, not actual figures. Assume he has a maximum speed of 44 kilometers per hour. And this another great athlete, Mr. Gay. Let us assume he runs at maximum speed is 43 kilometers per hour. And think of the third great athlete, Johan Blake. Assume he can run a maximum speed of 42 kilometers per hour. If these three run a 100-meter race, who will win?
Bolt will.
Bolt will win. Any other opinion? So I'll add one more condition. See, Usain Bolt assume he attains this speed in 20 seconds. Assume Tyson Gay attains this speed in 15 seconds. And Johan Blake attains this speed in 8 seconds. Attention speed means in 8 seconds he can reach 42 kilometers per hour. But he can reach maximum speed of 44, but he will take 20 seconds. Who will win 100 meters?
that's a bit problematic. It roughly takes 10 seconds, right, to reach 100 meters.
Yeah, approximately. So this guy will obviously win. This guy will obviously win because he reaches higher speed first. He reaches higher speed first. You understand? So your capability of running at high speed is only one part. But how much speed you can attain in what time is what matters in sprint. In sprint means shorter distances, 50 meter, 100 meter, 200 meter. Those who can attain higher speed in the short time. You think about it. 3 athletes are starting to run. After 100 meter, probably Usain Bolt will attain higher speed. But that's of no use in this sprint. See, so it is not speed what wins your sprint. It is not speed, but that is acceleration. So it's the acceleration which wins you a race, a sprint race. So if you can accelerate to a higher speed faster, then you will win a sprint. Are you able to get that concept? Like you all start running for 100 meter, all start, but this guy attains higher speed first. But after 100 meter, if they continue to run, if this is a 1000-meter race, this guy may win. But there is some more parameter because he gets time to get into that speed, and after that, if he's able to maintain that speed for longer time, he will win. But in a shorter span, it is your acceleration. So, for example, if you are overtaking another car in the highway, okay, your maximum speed could be say 250 kilometer per hour, and the other car maybe 150 kilometer per hour. But that doesn't matter. If you were to overtake a car, your acceleration has to be more than the other car. If you are able to speed up faster than the other car, then you will come first. Or if you stop in a traffic light, when traffic light becomes green, all of you start. And then the car which accelerates faster will reach first. You see, when you start. Your car might have a capacity to go at a higher speed if you get more time. Well, that is fine. But for a short distance, this matters. Do you get that? So that is the concept of acceleration. So that is what the Galileo, Newton, and all they brought in. That's a change in speed. Okay, so you start with 0 speed, and then you accelerate. That's when you in the cars and all, they will tell how much time you will take to achieve 100, to attain 100-meter distance. How much time it takes? They will tell 9 seconds, 6 seconds, 5 seconds. So that shows the acceleration. So do you get that? The same concept of acceleration which we told, but how it affects us. How it affects us. Okay. So now I will ask you one question. What quality of these people will help them to accelerate faster? Why is it that, and see, these are indicative figures, okay, Usain Bolt accelerates faster, but it depends on some specific day and all those things can change their form and all those things. So these are indicative figures, but you just think what property of a human being or what property of a kid or a runner helps it to accelerate faster compared to others? Body action, yes, of course. Body action can. Is there anything else? Why Carl Lewis is winning? Why Ben Johnson is winning? Why our people are not able to win 100-meter sprint? Fighting with these people. Less mass means we can have very lightweight people. You are right. Less mass, very good point. If you have less mass, you have to only carry less mass. It's an excellent point. So, but if you're too less mass, you will be unhealthy. You will not have muscle. But if you are over mass, you can't run in sprint. What you told is a perfect point. Because if you have to get that momentum, as you studied, more mass means you need more force to push it. So you're right. So less mass. But if it is too less mass, you have a problem. So that will come to the next point. So normally, we tell this as people who are powerful. So we will use that English word by telling you need like Kallu, these people have takate. Yeah, they have more power. Is it not? Even car, if you tell this car can accelerate faster compared to the other car, so we tell this BMW का engine का power ज़्यादा है. It'll power ज़्यादा है, ये bike का power ज़्यादा है, right? Understand? So even these people we tell, see Indians और compare करेगा तो इन लोगों का power ज़्यादा है, they have more power. Understand? So same thing, even in cars, it's the same thing. So if you ask if there is a Formula One race, who wins? Who will win? So it is the people who can accelerate faster in a short time. In a short time. Okay? So that is what we call as power. We tell you need more power. Okay, so the question is, what is his power? We use that word every day. In daily lexicon, we use that. But what does that word mean when you tell power? We use in politics also, powerful people. Okay, jiska pass power hai, he can do this, So what does that mean? Why is that word used? That is the point. So now, if you see the athletes running or the cars going, all those things, actually what they are doing is they are doing a work. The car is doing a work of going from this point to that point, carrying this at there, who are the passenger, the mass, whatever is there. Or this person who is running is also doing a work. He is running. So that is what we use in English by telling ये काम कर रहा है. Or even ये जो car का engine क्या करता है? Engine is doing some work. What it is doing? It is pulling this entire mass from this point to that point. Or let us assume you have a pump at house for pumping water. What it does some work of lifting the water from here and putting it in the overhead tank. Okay, or let us assume you have a small motor, a fan in your house. So what does it do? It does a work of rotating its leaves, rotating the leaves of the fan at some speed. So all these things is what we call as work. So we also use better lazy आदमी है कुछ काम नहीं करता है. Tell that doesn't do work. Telling ना कुछ करो, जिंदगी में कुछ काम करो, कुछ work करो. Okay. So, but the question is, what is this work? When we tell work, what is that? In science, there is a definition. But philosophically, if you want to attempt, you can tell. When we tell somebody, kuch kaam dhanda nahi. Means one work we tell like employmentically we will tell work for labor. That is different. But that's also related to this. Because employment we think the person is going to do work. So when we tell kaam dhanda nahi hai, which means he doesn't have work. Then we will tell kaam chor. He has employment but still does no work. But all points to something better. In doing work is something which we consider as something we have in our mind. इधर से उठा के लेके उधर जाते नहीं तो इधर जाते ऐसे करते नहीं तो उठा देते आजकल तो व्हाइट कॉलर वर्क आ गया तो बैठ के प्रोग्रामिंग करते वो भी काम है हमारा इसमें. Okay, but when we have in the science parlor, actually there is a proper definition. Work matlab kya hai kar. Okay, so now if you look at it, let us assume you are riding a cycle. You have to go 1 kilometer. Okay, and another person is riding another cycle, and that person has to go, let us assume 2 kilometers, same cycle. If the cycle is more heavy, of course you have to put more pain to pedal it. That all of you know that, right? So that means we are told that force means the momentum, change in momentum in 1 second. So if you have more mass, the momentum is more. Then for that 1 second में more change होने का तो you have to pedal it more because if the cycle is very heavy, right? So let us assume if somebody is going in 1 kilometer, somebody is going in 2 kilometer, whom we will tell who is doing more work? Obviously, we will tell the person who has ridden the cycle for 2 kilometer has done more work, right? Or if somebody is carrying certain something, they carrying this from Bandra se Andheri tak carry kiya, another person carries it from Bandra to Virar, obviously we will tell Virar tak jo leke aane ke liye kaam zyada hai, so it will work is more, or car, anything. So that means it is a component of distance. So how much distance you are doing a specific activity, so how much distance you are doing, so that is one component. So more distance you are doing, so normally you will tell you are doing more work. अभी 1 मीटर तक एक चीज को पुश करना है, 10 मीटर तक पुश करना है, तो 10 मीटर तक पुश करना है तो work is more. This is something which our common sense will tell us. But telling if you want to do something for a more distance, your work is more, right? Now in the same thing, if you look at it, if you are pedaling 1 kilometer, two of you are pedaling 1 kilometer, but for one person is having a 50 kg baggage in the cycle. Somebody keeps a 50 kg baggage in your carrier. Then obviously you do more work. Because you do more pedaling. That's what you do when you do exercise, right? You keep the sitting as a steep sitting. That means you do pedal more, right? So you know why is that? When there is a more mass, or when you have a steep in the exercise machine also, or even just you are cycling, if there is a steep steep terrain, you have to put more effort. You know why? Yeah, more energy. You are right. You are right. You need more energy. You have to burn more energy. You are right. But why you have to burn more energy?
You have to work against gravity.
You have to work against gravity in the case of this slope. Assume you are going like this with a 50 kg on your cycle. You are not working against gravity. You are working against gravity. Still, compared to other cycle, you are putting more effort. You have to burn more energy. Why? See, actually, you have to apply more force. You're pedaling your leg, you have to apply more force to pedal because you have that baggage on your back. उसका mass ज़्यादा हो गया. Mass ज़्यादा हो गया तो we are told before, if you are pushing a 1 kg object and a 50 kg object, 50 kg object, you have to give more force. This is something which we have seen before also. That means the force is proportional to the mass of it, which we have seen. So it means more mass means you have to give more force. In the case of the steep this thing, as Arun told, you are working against gravity. Okay, that also means you are applying more force. So which means when you tell that if two people are doing work, one person is carrying something on a straight terrain, one person is to carry it on the uphill, climb the hill, you will tell the climb mein jo hill who is climbing, he is doing more work. Even the distance is same, we will tell a hill jo climb karne wala is doing more work. We know that. Why? Because that person has to apply more force. The person has to apply more force. Okay. So now that means these are the two things which are important in a simplified way in when we tell work. So when we tell work, what we actually imply is the work is done for more distance. Zyada distance hai to more work is done, and then more force is applied. So this force and distance, कितना force apply करने का, कितना distance लेके जाने का. For example, a car, if you see a BMW का engine है, Maruti 800 का engine है, this Maruti 800 का engine compared to BMW का engine, when you tell its power is less, it is doing less work. What it means is actually it's not doing less work. in a given time 10 seconds में लेगा तो this BMW engine can do more work. Maruti को ज्यादा time देगा तो Maruti can do maybe that much work. Total amount of work could be the same. But for a given time 10 seconds में who will do more work? We know BMW engine will do more work. When we tell that it will do more work, what does it mean? It can pull the same weight to a more distance. 10 seconds BMW के engine के पीछे एक load लगाया, Maruti के engine के पीछे एक load लगाया, 10 seconds लिया तो the BMW can go for a faster distance. Means distance ज़्यादा pull कर सकते हैं, okay? Or if you fix the distance same, then the BMW engine can carry more weight. It can pull the more weight. So that means it can apply more force. So for example, if you have a pump in your house, you pump water to your sump. If you have another pump which can do more work in say you take 10 seconds to fill the tank. If you put another pump, maybe with a higher capacity or higher rating, higher power, it can do in 5 minutes, which means it is doing more work in the same time. So in the previous example, a sprinter who can cover this 100-meter distance in less time wins the race, which means he's doing a work comparatively long time. If you see all the sprinters, if you put a Maruti and a BMW and other thing, who can do more work? Let us assume you have a Maruti car, you have a BMW car. Work means what? You ride it, how much more distance you can ride. Actually, who can do more work? What will decide who will go more distance? If you have two cars, assume one is BMW, one is Maruti, what will decide which can drive more, which can drive longer, which can carry more weight?
More horsepower.
More horsepower will decide in a given time more work who can do in a given time. But assume करो कि दो गाड़ी start किया, which one will travel more distance?
One is
That is
the
I
one is
don't-
more mileage.
more mileage and more fuel. BMW में 5 लीटर पेट्रोल डालेगा तो 5 लीटर के बाद वो बंद हो जाएगा. Maruti में 50 लीटर पेट्रोल है, it will go more. So who will do more work is different from who can do more work in a given time. So who will do more work is depending on how much fuel you have or how much energy you have. So पेट्रोल पर इसमें ज्यादा पेट्रोल है, वो ज्यादा काम करेगा, right? So that is nothing to do with engine, but engine का power will decide in a given time. देखो 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 1 minute, उसमें कौन ज्यादा काम करेगा? So that is what we tell work done in 1 second, very similar to the previous concept. Previously we told change in momentum in 1 second. Like this, work done, both will do more work depending on the fuel availability, but in a given time 30 seconds में कौन ज्यादा काम करेगा, which means in 1 second how much work you can do. That is what we tell as power. When we tell this engine is more powerful than this engine, what we understand is this engine compared to this engine can do more work in 1 second. 1 second. That's why we tell if we keep an engine pump which takes 10 minutes to put water in the tank, if you put another engine with twice the power, it can fill it in 5 minutes. Because तुम्हारा power double हो गया, तो 1 second में जितना काम करते वो double हो गया. So double the amount of water you can put. You understand? Or you tell that two people are working doing some work. One person is having higher power means what? In 1 second or 1 minute or 1 hour, this person can do more work. But totally whole day, if you put them to work, who will do more work? We can't tell. Maybe the person who is powerful may stop after some point. jaldi thak jayega. Maybe somebody who is not very powerful and all will do more work. So power is depending on how much work you can do in 1 second. So what it is depending on? That is depending on different things in different stuff. For car, engine and all those things, it is depending on some technicality of how its engine is made and its the cylinder and how many cylinder you have and what is the volume inside the cylinder, many parameter. For humans, it is depending on your muscle, your genetics, how broad you are, many things like that. That is what decides how powerful you are. You tell some breed of people genetically they are very broad, very powerful. We tell certain people are will be having certain kind of body structure which is more powerful. Especially if you see African Americans, they are much ahead normally in sprint. We have seen normally. Yes, but okay, of course, other people also can do training and all those things and build that up. But this muscle, how much muscle you can have, is also part of genetics. So for different things, it is different. How much power you become. Now, if you see this, how much total work you can do and how much use power are two different things. Because if Usain Bolt runs in a marathon, he may not win. The people who win in marathons are not people who run fastest. They can run for longer time, which means they can do more work. They can do more work. But in a given time, if you see, Usain Bolt will do more work. 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, this guy will do more work. Other guy can do only less work. But in longer time, that guy can do that less work for a longer time. So that is what we call a stamina. We will tell stamina acha hai, stamina jyada hai, right? So that is these are some popular words which we use daily, but that is how that's how it actually definition is, but we use it just like it in our daily life. काम नहीं करते, काम छोड़ रहे, काम धंधा नहीं है, काम ज्यादा है, काम कम है, मैं ज्यादा काम करते कि तुम ज्यादा काम करते, housework is more or office work is more, So we keep on telling all those things, right? Efficient नहीं है. Efficient actually when we tell is actually based on power. ज़्यादा output नहीं देते. So we use all this word output कम है. Actually what it means is वो कितना काम करते हैं वो given time में जितना काम करते हैं कम है. That's what we meant. Actually all is coming from science. This daily lexicon. Yeah, it is individualistic. It is individualistic. See, अभी हमारा जो normal parlance में हम लोग जो काम करते हैं वो ये जो definition के साथ some things may not go. For example, a security job. A person is sitting like this, maybe 8 hours. As far as science is concerned, is not doing a work. Because science में work means you have to have move a distance. Okay. Force apply करने का distance move करने का. Science में work is that force into distance. So a person is just standing, is not doing any work. Even if that person is carrying something, is not doing any work according to science, right? Or you go to some place and come back, work done is zero. so I'm telling, but ये जो सिक्योरिटी वाला शायद मानेगा नहीं, आईटी में काम करने वाला मानेगा नहीं, कंपनी का सीईओ मानेगा नहीं, वो चेयर में कुर्सी में बैठा मॉर्निंग टू इवनिंग. In that understanding, I am also not doing any work. बैठ के लेक्चर दे देते हैं. Okay, so so that is very different. But when you tell ये जो इंजन का पावर ज्यादा है, ये मिक्सी को वो दूसरा मिक्सी लेके आ जाओ, ये ज्यादा टाइम ले लेते हैं. मतलब क्या पावरफुल, मतलब ज्यादा पावर का मतलब सेम टाइम में समथिंग कैन डू मोर वर्क. दैट इज व्हाट वी कॉल एज पावर. एक सेकंड में कितना काम करेगा. Understand? So now another question also which asks is what makes you to do work. ये जो काम करते उसके लिए क्या चाहिए पूछना. For you to do work, what you want. For you to do work, you need energy. For car, you fill fuel. For you, you eat food. Certain other things, you put some oil or a spring or something. So you need energy to do work. Okay. So now, but the question is, let us assume we put some fuel in a car, 25 liter. You go for a ride, Mumbai to Pune, comes back, 25-liter guy. What happened to that energy? We used the energy, petrol, burned it, we traveled and came back. What happened to that energy? Is it lost? Or you eat some food and you run. What happens to that energy?
It gets converted from one form to another.
Perfect. So probably in a car, it gets converted to heat or maybe some wave or some wind, many things. So the bottom line is, so we think the universe is formed. We think the universe is formed. So the universe is formed, and let us assume just purely for imagination. Don't read too much into it. Purely for imagination. Okay. Repeatedly, I tell. Don't add too much of weight to it. But a popular example: assume you have a balloon. Assume you have a balloon. So that balloon is slowly expanding. Okay. So think that you have certain things maybe in that balloon. So when you expand, when you expand the balloon, the total mass inside that balloon that doesn't change. It doesn't change. And that balloon expanding, don't think that you are pumping air. Just assume that it is just expanding. Okay. Or even you think that you have a box. You have a box and you put certain things inside the box, something fragile, something will break, and then just you do whatever you want with that box. Okay. After how much ever time you open and see the box, the shape of the matter inside would have changed. Something would have been two fight, some two things would have joined together, many things. But the total stuff inside that doesn't change. Okay. So when we tell about universe, so universe once it begun, how it began and all those things a separate matter. It began with because of something we don't know, some reason. But then after that, nobody has interfered. It is like a balloon. It is like a dabba where inside material is there. And that further no interference. What does it mean? That means how much ever material was there in the dabba, the total material is still there. Maybe some two dove will combine to become another dove. Maybe a bangle which was there, if you shake like this, it will break. Maybe this dabba, if it falls and rolls, shape of some things may change, but the total stuff inside that doesn't change. Or you think of you have say you have a pipe and you just open the pipe and then you just blow the air and close. Assume this air goes inside the pipe. If the other side of the pipe is closed, this whatever you blow on that air, it will go inside. It may hit there, hit here, it goes change here, this things, and that may go and move something inside, change something. But the total air which you gave and that whatever maybe force what you gave, it is constant as long as nobody has interfered. As long as nobody has interfered. Okay. So that is where science enters the terrain of philosophy. So that is the concept which we have of universe today. That universe formed and started, and when universe formed and started, after that no interferences happened. Before that, were there interferences? We don't know. How this matter came, we don't know. But once it started, then no interferences. Which means that It's all in one dabba, इधर करके fuel डाला, a fuel उड़ा के ये काम किया, and that becomes some, maybe when you ride the car it just makes some air waves, and some maybe the tire will apply some pressure on the road and road may dabao for a bit. It may happen and this may create something else and that may create something else, but there is no new energy being produced because there is no interference. Okay, so it may hit your fate sometimes. Unfortunately, I'm sorry if it hits, but as per science, after the universe formed, there is no interference. So which means the total matter which you have and the total energy you have cannot change. Total energy you have in the universe cannot change because it is a dabba which started with some energy and it's a closed box. Inside the box, lot of things happen. So this energy will go and hit here, so that will become wave and it may become P tsunami and it may go and come and hit this place and then one earth plate may move and this may become an earthquake and it may go and hit something else and that will become another galaxy and then something else will change. But all those things from the initial point where you started. So that is the essence of what Arun told, that whatever energy you use, actually it cannot get destroyed. It will only change the shape. So you take a cycle and you ride the cycle. What you need to ride the cycle? You should have eaten some food. कुछ खाना नहीं खाया होता तो you could not have ridden the cycle. So you get your energy from the food, right? And how the food got that energy, we will see in the next slide. So that energy, when you ride, let us assume you ride upwards, then what happens? Your work is then what happens? So what happens is, this at this height, this work what you did becomes something called potential energy. So for example, you put a pump and the pump runs and puts the water on your tank in top of your house. What happened to that work? That work is sitting inside that water as energy. That is why when you open the tap, it flows. When you open the tap from the top of the tank, nobody is pushing the water. Chalo, projector is opened, jao. Nobody is telling it. It is having that energy. How that energy came? This work which you applied to push it from here to the top. That work is becoming energy. So what does it mean? That means the work and the energy are one at the same. So when you tell that I did some work, actually you use some energy and then you use some energy to do the work, and whatever work you did becomes another energy. So you use the food you ate to ride the cycle, and when you are on the top of this mountain, you have potential energy so that you don't have to pedal. When you come down, you can just hold. With that energy, you can come. And when you speed it up, what happens? When you come here, you don't have potential energy. Potential energy means the energy which you get because of height. Then you have something called kinetic energy. That is why a speedy vehicle, when you go and hit another person, the other person gets hurt. Or if you put a dynamo in your wheel, it produces electricity because that movement you have created some energy. That is called kinetic energy. Right? So the essence is universe formed with some energy, and that energy, using that energy, different work is going on. Some people are going around, some people are walking. One guy called sun is making something and emitting some light. Some other thing called some other galaxy is just going and hitting another galaxy. Some other guy called black hole may be attracting certain things. Some people in here sitting and making some paintings. Different people do different things. All are work. Sun is doing some work, Arun Dev is also doing work. All of you are taking some energy from this universe which had that energy from the beginning. And when you do this work, end of your work, during the process, it becomes another form of energy. So the total energy doesn't change. total mass also doesn't change because the matter what is there is there. Nobody takes anything away from it. What's the closed box? Do you get that? Okay. Okay, so that's an important concept. That's a very important concept. Actually, it's a philosophical concept. It is more philosophical than science. And in science, they call it as law of conservation of energy, law of conservation of mass, and all those things. Energy can neither be destroyed nor be produced. Matter can neither be destroyed nor be produced. These are two important principles of science. But what it means is, universe is a closed box. After it began, nobody has interfered. So the total matter and the total energy are the same. Only the shape can change. Yeah? Okay. So now forget about the maths of it. The same thing happens in this pendulum. So that is why when this pendulum moves from here, it goes to the exact position on the other side. Remember when we were discussing about Galileo, we told this. This ball doesn't have a memory to tell that, oh, now I am going the other side. Let me maintain the same height. It doesn't know that. It is going here because this energy it is using to do some work. So here, from this point, automatically will come down. So this is using its potential energy, it will reach here. And by the time it has acquired some speed, so it is having some kinetic energy. Then using that kinetic energy, it will go and it will become potential energy. So the total energy is same. It will go to the same height only. From here it will go here, from here it will go here, as long as there is no interference. Assume you just hold the ball like this slowly, then it won't reach this height, it will stop here or here. Assume you push it in the same direction, then it will go above this height. So if you push it from here, it will go above this height. Unless you interfere, it will be same height, as long as friction is not there. Right? So that is the cycle. Like the sun produces light energy. How it produces, that's another point. Okay. So using that light energy, the plants make food, what we call as photosynthesis. And using that plant, actually, ages of plants decay, it becomes what we call as fossil fuel. And that fossil fuel, we take it and uses for all our purposes, whatever we are doing. And now we are thinking that this fossil fuel will end, so we are trying to bypass these two things and trying to see, can we make a direct relationship with this guy, which is what we call as solar energy. Yeah. Okay, so that cycle happens. That cycle happens. You understand? Understand?
हाँ, मतलब ये जो डायरेक्ट एनर्जी है ना, यहाँ पे समझ में आ सकता है कि डिस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ एनर्जी नहीं है,
मतलब,
लेकिन डिस्ट्रक्शन मतलब अभी जैसे आपने बोला था गाड़ी मुंबई से पूना जाने का है तो फ्यूल बर्न होता है, तो उधर एनर्जी का क्या होता है, मतलब फ्यूल तो बर्न हो जाता है ना.
Yeah, so that's what I'm telling. No energy gets lost. There is nothing called destruction or construction. That duality doesn't exist. There is only usage of energy. So energy transform हो जाते हैं. वो क्या होते हैं? वो कार का, when you see car gets heated, you see, car gets heated. So that heat is another energy actually. It heats the atmosphere, the molecules. And when the car goes, it will produce some speed and it will produce some wind, some wave. That's why when you stand near a car goes, it will give a blow. That's another energy. And you push maybe the road. That is another movement, another force. So it gets converted to all these things. It doesn't get lost. That's the point. No energy can get lost because there is no place for it to go. It's one container. So there is nothing called destruction or construction in that. Destruction and construction is a domain of morality. And science and morality are two different things. Morality is how you use science. You can use nuclear fusion either to make energy or to make bomb. So it is your domain, our domain, whether it is destruction or construction. You know, whether it is good use of energy or bad use of energy and all those things. So that is, I may have to break another faith at that point. I mean, there is no one in the universe to tell this is good use of energy or bad use of energy. Right? It's all like it's in a, we are a very tiny portion in this whole universe called, this earth is a very, 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 very tiny portion of the large universe. These are some words which we use among ourselves. The whole universe doesn't have anything to do with our usage of, oh, chalo yaar, Mumbai se Pune tak gaya, fukkad mein gaya tha, lift lene ka tha, so it's a destructive use of energy. You know, universe का साथ उसको कुछ मतलब नहीं है, वो खाली हमारा चीज है. Understand? So morality, moral part and science are two different things. We call this meta science. So no, ये अच्छा है क्या बुरा, ये destruction है क्या construction, ये सब इधर नहीं है. वो सब हमारा qualifiers है. A species called humans who are hardly 300,000 years old, which is a very, 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 very tiny portion in this larger scheme of things of 1400 crore years. At a very tiny place called Earth. तो हम लोग इधर बैठे, it is like this. सोचो कि हम लोग अर्थ में ये सब चलते हैं. सोचो कि मुंबई में एक छोटा फ्लैट का अंदर 10 आदमी बैठ के बोलते कि ये सब ऐसा नहीं चलते, दूसरा तरफ से चलते. सो ये एक्चुअली सन बोल के चीज नहीं है, एक्चुअली उधर एक गोल चलते. सो फॉर द लार्जर अर्थ एक्चुअली इट इज इमटेरियल, राइट? वो फ्लैट का अंदर बैठ के जो बोलते चलते करते, they may live inside that for their whole life believing that is true. But it doesn't have an impact on the outside stuff. वो बोलेगा एक्चुअली मोटर नाम की चीज नहीं है, एक्चुअली ट्रेन बोल के चीज चलता नहीं है. They may sit inside, but outside the local train चलता ही है. So those people sitting inside that flat or camera and telling has nothing to do with the outside. It's we are like that. So हमारा ये जो qualifiers and all have nothing to do with the larger premise. So I'm not discounting that. That is what we call a civilization. What is good and what is bad, what is destruction, what is construction is what we call a civilization. So that is why we are here. All those things are great. So I'm not discounting that. But I'm telling, in the material aspect of science, इसका सब कुछ लेना देना नहीं है. That is not science domain at all. So how science is used is a different domain. That is where morality comes, that is where faith comes, that is where religions come. And the reverse also. Reverse is also true. See, in the science, you can't tell this is a good use of energy. Reverse is also true. You can't have a faith system coming and telling that this is how Earth was formed. But this is how energy gets created. You know, these are the 5 people who will pass in the examination, you know, because they did so and so yesterday. And this guy is done so and so stuff, and you know his energy will get lost. You know, so I'm telling this terrain and that terrain are 2 different things. So बहुत में कुछ लेना देना नहीं है. Yeah. Okay. So I will I'm going extremely slow. Okay, so I will just put one more thought before we leave today. So this is what we told till now is what is called as Newtonian science. Newtonian science or the Newton science. Actually, Galileo is the guy who paved the way. So you remember all these things starts from that Galileo's initial that ball experiments and all those things. You know, so that from there he realized that the distance, how much they travel is proportional to the square of that one. And from that he brought this idea. And you know, from that he brought this concept of gravity. And from that he came up with the concept of relative motion. Then Newton built on that. Then he defined something called force. Then he defined what is force. And from the force he defined what is work. What is called force into a distance. And then from that he defined what is power. From that he defined what is energy. And then the entire universe is built up with this knowledge, whatever they have developed, the machines, the engines, the houses, and everything which we design and do is based on this stuff. So this is what we call as Newtonian physics or Newtonian science. Right? Okay, so this is a science which we predominantly use. This is a science which we predominantly use today for all our scientific kind of stuff and all. Okay, and this was pretty well there in the maybe 150 years back. This was well there, 150 to 200 years back. This is well there. So now whatever we are going to learn, then what happened in last 150 to 100 years? There are certain things like electricity, magnetism, and all which were also maybe more than 100 years old kind of stuff. And then what are we going to understand now? It's not something which we use in day-to-day science, in day-to-day life, but then there are some flaws in this system. One of the flaw is that if you remember, that point of time during Newton's time, the thinking process was that outside the earth, whatever we see, there is something called ether, which I told during Aristotle's time also. So here we have air. Outside this, there is something called ether. And all these stars and planets and all are moving, rotating, everything in ether. Aristotle ने बोल के गया. So that is some 1,900, 2,000 plus years before. So then a lot of questions came. See, for any medium, let us assume this, then these planets are moving, stars are moving so very fast. So if that either medium, that means there will be friction and it will get hot. And then what happened? Then planets should get slowed down. Then planets get slowed down means this because of gravity, Earth should come and hit sun, and moon should come and hit Earth, and there should be chaos. So we're not able to explain how these things are happening, how ether is working, how ether is moving. So during this year, 1887, these two gentlemen called Michelson and Morley, two very famous scientists who got Nobel Prize later. So they are experimental scientists. So they conducted an experiment to detect, to prove the presence of ether. So what they did is, you remember, before we told that if you are going in a train, if you are sitting inside the train, your speed is same as that of the train. And for a person who is standing outside, a person will feel train is moving at some speed. The person sitting inside the train is also going at that speed. That is a concept. Now you are going in another train parallel to you, and if that train is overtaking you, from that train they will feel you are going backwards. Like when we go in a bus, you will feel the trees are going backwards. So that is what we call as relative motion. So these people did an experiment to measure the speed of light. So they measured the speed of light along with the direction of Earth, like Earth is rotating. Na? So along with the direction of the Earth, they measure the speed of light. Like assume that it's a train moving. So assume that you are going along with the train and then you measure the speed of the train. Now assume you are coming opposite the train. When you are coming opposite to the train, then the speed of the train will be different. Because if you are going along with the train, if a train is going at 50 km per hour, you are also going at 50 km per hour. For you, train is static, not moving. If you are coming opposite the train, you feel train is going very fast. If you're just standing idle, you will feel train is going at its normal speed. So these people measured the speed of light along in the direction of the Earth, same direction of the Earth, and in the opposite direction of the Earth, opposite to the movement of Earth. And then they calculated what is the difference in speed. Difference in speed, because the speed of light when you measured along with the Earth, opposite the speed will be different. So that difference, with that they want to prove that ether's existence. So they were waiting for some value. What is the difference? Now, to their surprise, that value became zero. The reading which they got of this difference in speed was zero. So they thought that experiment mein kuch locha hai. Some arrangement is bad. So they conducted this experiment again. Actually, they are very famous experimental scientists. So they conducted this experiment again and again. Whenever they conducted this experiment, they got the value of zero. This was very puzzling. How can this be zero? So they abandoned that experiment. And the whole science world also got into some puzzle, because if that is true, what are you telling? You are telling the entire relative motion what we learned, that Newtonian mechanics and everything goes for a toss. Whatever we created, all science goes for a toss. So people were not able to explain this, and many people conducted this experiment again. Many people gave very different theories. Nothing was satisfactory. Nothing was satisfactory. So that is the time there were some other development which Arun asked once, which I will do after I complete this thing, because it gets into some complex equations called Lorentz transformation and all those things. So there are certain other people in certain other part of the world. They were coming up with some other field of science which is a bit complicated. I don't want to trouble you at this point. With Arun, I will make it another session after the end of it. So they came with some concept of, we call that frame of reference, right? If you are in a merry-go-round, all of you are in the same frame of reference. All of you in the earth are in the same frame of reference. When you sit from moon, you are in a different frame of reference. So from where you look, it decides what is your speed. So you can just tell that when I was going in space, I saw one person from jumping from Uranus and going at this speed. You can tell just like that. You tell what speed you are going, which direction you are going. Then only that makes some sense. Because like when you look from moon, how this train goes, and when you look from Venus, how our train goes, both are different. Their speed will be different. Frame of reference is a concept in the relativity. Frame of reference means where you are standing. What is your yardstick? What is your base? From where you are looking. So if all of us in the earth, we are in the earth frame of reference. But within the earth, if you are in a train, you are the train frame of reference. Within the train, let us assume a kid is riding a cycle within the train. Then that kid's speed is different compared to the person sitting in the train, compared to the person who is standing on the earth, compared to the person who is going in a merry-go-round opposite the train. For all these people, the speed of the person, the bicycle is different. So that's why telling, you can't just like that tell somebody is going at so and so speed. You tell from which frame of reference you are talking. Where are you? And are you in motion? Now that has a big impact. So then it's a person called Lorentz and some other team. They came up with some concept, which is like when you jump from one frame of reference to another frame of reference, what happens? Okay, certain things happen. When you jump from Earth to Moon, when you jump from train to a standstill body, what happens? Lot of things happen actually. Your speed and all. We told the speed will be different depending on which frame of reference you are. So if you are from Earth, when you see Moon's rotation, when you sit in Venus and see Moon's rotation, it will be in different speeds because they are also moving. So how we calculate that? So when you jump from one frame to another frame, how you calculate? So a gentleman called Lorentz and all, they came up with some equations for that, Lorentz transformation from one frame of reference to another. Okay. So now this puzzle, this Michelson Morley put a bomb in the scientific world. He put a bomb. Nobody was able to explain. The concept of relativity was on toss. And they told this experiment is not right, but whoever conducts this experiment got the same result. So that is the time this very young guy who was working in an embassy, a Jewish guy who was working in an embassy, I think he's in his 20s at that time, he came and presented a paper in a scientific conference and he addressed this puzzle. He says he was not knowing about this experiment. He presented another paper from nowhere, but that answered this question. So his point was that this is right. This Michelson-Morley experiment, if they get zero, that is right. Relativity is also right. Your concept of frame of reference is also right. He tells, but that concept what you tell doesn't apply for one thing in the universe, only one thing. That is light. Light doesn't follow this rule, this theory of relative motion. Wherever you look at light, You stand in moon and look at light. You stand in Venus and look at light. You stand in Earth and look at light. Its speed will be constant. That is a very difficult thing to digest. It is like a train is moving. You're telling you're going in a car, also train speed is same. You're coming opposite to the car, also train speed is same. You're looking from moon, also train speed is same. You're looking from Venus, also train speed is same. You know that is not true. But it is true in the case of light. So that was the path-breaking theory which Einstein mentioned, and he called it as special relativity. So we had an original Galilean relativity which we did. So this is something called a special relativity. We'll get into that in the next session. But that is the importance of this guy called Einstein. He came and told what is light. Light is not just what you think. He's a different guy. He's a troublesome guy. He doesn't follow your basic rules. And wherever you look at it, it travels. That's it. You get that? It is a bit tough. It is explained in this rather cartoonish kind of explanation of relativity. So with this slide, we'll stop. So Lukoki Shortage is a train robbery चल रहा है. देखो बंदा गफर सिंह का आदमी is loot out fight something and running on the top of the train. Police Dharmendra standing here A and shooting. And the goalie is going at 100 miles per hour. But the train is going at 50 miles per hour. 50 miles per hour. So what will happen? This goalie will hit this guy. Why? Because actually for this guy is also standing and this guy is also standing in the same frame of reference called train. Okay. So for this guy, this A police, Dharmendra ka jo goalie will come at 100 miles per hour only because both are standing in the same frame of reference. Samachya ki Amitabh is standing on a tower outside the train. He's in a different frame of reference. His 100 miles per hour will feel for this guy as 100 minus 50 only. Because it is like two trains going. One train is going at 100, one train is going at 50. So you remember that Goda ke upar wo train ko overtake karne ke liye jayega, wo jo Amjad Khan ka aadmi. By the time this Goda catches up the speed of the train, then only they jump. So when they also catch the same speed of the train, then they are static. So iska jo first 50 kilometer per hour will go for catching up with the train because he is outside the frame of reference. So for this guy, his speed will be 50 meter per hour. ये गोली थोड़ा हल्का सा लगेगा, मरेगा but हल्का सा लगेगा. ये गोली पहले लगेगा. Okay, but now you think relativistic train robbery. समझो कि गोली नहीं ये लाइट है. ये लाइट है तो ये इसका गया. ये बाहर से शूट करते, अंदर से शूट करते, सबका स्पीड लाइट का स्पीड आएगा for this person. That is called relative concept of relativity. Right? Okay, so before relativity, Galilean relativity was like बाहर से कोई अंदर ना जा सकते. वो लाइट में ऐसा कुछ नहीं, बाहर अंदर का कुछ फर्क नहीं है, खुला है पूरा एकदम, आओ जाओ मेरा कुछ पता नहीं. Right? Thank you. These are a bit tough concepts to follow. Like the peak of relativity, we ourselves struggle. Okay, so these are bit complicated things to understand. But I suggest you don't get into too much depth unless you want to get into. I don't can get into if you like to. But you get a basic concept where from it is coming. Iska wajah kya tha? What it brings. Okay. So that is where that induction and that thing, you know. So this was a hypothesis. This, what Einstein told, is a hypothesis. Light aisa hoga. According to me, that is how light behaves. But the proof came much later. Proof came much later. Now if the day somebody finds out that that is wrong, Einstein gaya. So Michelson-Morley experiment was almost about to kill other relativity. Yeah, like that. So that is what we see the theory of induction, and that which we told first. If somebody can put a hypothesis, we may get the results later. Once we get experimental results, then it becomes science. But the day somebody proves it wrong, that is not science.
I read somewhere that Max Planck's equation of unifying what do you call this equation of unifying electromagnetism. It had a constant of c. Light speed was constant in that, but nobody noticed, and later on it was confirmed by Einstein. I don't know about the equation or anything, but
I don't know. I don't know that story. I really don't know that.
Compelled Einstein to think in this way. That c is a
There, but that's why I mentioned Lorentz transformation, the basic founding block of the equation of shifting from frame of reference, and that these things was there as Lorentz transformation before also. Okay. So Lorentz transformation was there before also, and Einstein has used that thing in his this thing, and not just Lorentz. There are few other people also who have put lot of thoughts in that. So it is not that one fine day he comes and puts that thing, but he put it together as a theory. He put it together as a theory called special relativity. Probably you could be right, means maybe in the Max Planck's equation, maybe people would not have noticed. But I haven't read about that story. Maybe there could be right. Now the point was not like Einstein comes as a hero and from zero. It is not that. It's all result of so many other things. Planck, the initial quantum stuff, and then this Lorentz stuff, and then many other people have put so many other stuffs which we are not even talking here. But Lorentz transformation is very crucial because his theory of that the mass energy equivalence. So that has a basic component as Lorentz transformation. So E is equal to mc square and all have the people who have put time before that. So it is not that one fine day, but that was a path-breaking way to put everything together as one theory. But this is called special relativity. So we told about Galilean relativity before. Then he told this is a special relativity. एक और आने वाला है. तीसरा relativity. So we'll tell us. Okay. Questions?
ये रिलेटिविटी अभी कुछ मेंशन किया क्या? व्हाट अभी के हम लोग ने नहीं डिस्कस किया ना अभी तो ये तीन रिलेटिविटी.
या सो ये जो गैलीलियन रिलेटिविटी हम लोग डिस्कस किया वो फ्रेम ऑफ रेफरेंस वगैरह पहले. अभी ये जो आइंस्टीन ने जो बोला जो आइंस्टीन का जो थियरी है दैट लाइट डिफाइज द अदर रिलेटिविटी एंड इट ट्रैवल्स एट कांस्टेंट स्पीड इज a theorem called special relativity. So Marcus साहब कुछ दिखा रहे. म्यूट है. म्यूट फिर से म्यूट हो गया. तो अनम्यूट हुआ था, अभी म्यूट हो गया फिर से.